There's another one you don't want to hear. Frankly, they do I.
1, 2, 3, set, go.
Now we get down to the nitty-gritty. The top two. Kyle, kick it off, man. What is your number 2 favorite Alkaline Trio song?
Well, it's been referenced a little bit, and I kept my mouth shut during it. But number 2 for me is "Fucking Stupid Kid."
You mean that shitty song that shouldn't have been on the album?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
No, I love this song too.
It's good. It just doesn't make sense for the album, in my opinion. I like it as like its own thing, but like it doesn't remind me of From Here to, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a dark song to me. And when I think of From Here to Infirmary, man, I worked at a nursing home, and when the residents went in the infirmary, they were dying next week. So like, whenever I think about this album, that just like, it makes the album even more darker.
You think
for
of
me.
dead old people when you think of this album?
Yeah, kind of.
Just a room of dead old people? Oh,
I
dying.
I just think about dying.
Not dead yet, but dying.
Just like, yeah. But
Yeah,
Stupid
this
Kid
song-
just doesn't make sense on that for me. That's why I wanted to weigh in on that. But I like the song. I just wanted to just basically say I'm not shitting on your number 2.
Now, with that said, defend this song, Kyle. Defend it. Defend it with all your heart.
No. So this was my introduction to Alkaline Trio. This was the first song I ever heard. And I got lucky to be able to see the music video at the exact same time. So I was experiencing both experiences at once. And I thought the music video was so cool because it was so different from any other music video I've seen at that point. The kid at school and at the end, he's kind of fed up with all like his teacher's bullshit, even though he's in love with her, and like the other classmates are picking on him. And takes off the beanie, he's got the little devil horns, and then essentially kills them all with smoke. I thought like that whole video concept was so different and unique that I just couldn't look away. And I thought that was such cool, like, you get shit on for kind of, doing what you want, like, being the person that you want to be and like connecting yourself with the people that you want to connect with, and they're all shitting on you. And like, obviously, like, if you think about it in like a grander scheme, he's like, oh God, he's killing his classmates and his teacher. That can relate to people doing school shootings. I didn't look at it that way. I just thought it was like such a different music video from the time that it was just, I can see why it wasn't on MTV, and it was very much like a Fuse music video. And I related to it so much because around that time, like I was young and like I just broke up with like my first girlfriend, and I felt like a stupid kid. Like I told her that I loved her and this and that, and like everything that the song sang was like kind of how I was feeling at that moment. Like I just felt like an idiot for, as a child pouring my heart out onto this girl. And, I think we only dated for like 2 months, but like this song was just like, holy shit, this song is me. This is what I relate to. And again, I've been repeating myself. It's the relatability of these songs that like really hit home. And this song was the most relatable thing at that time, and I still relate to it to this day on a completely different like level, but I can't help but deny it. I can't deny it.
I think it's one of their, and I like this song, so I'm with you. We're gonna gang up on Zach here for a minute. The guy who likes enjoy. That's the other thing. Really, should any of us really be listening?
I don't really.
Are any
like
of his
that.
opinions that valid? He likes enjoy your day,
Man.
so I mean. Take what he says with a grain of salt, people. This guy likes the fucking song that fucks up, God damn it. That fucks up the whole flow of it. He likes that song. So
Dude, you know what
just
fucked
remember
up,
that.
God damn it? Dan leaving for his other band's tour and recording
Those
the
harmonies first. Because
no, because the singing on that album is not it.
Well, no, he recorded his the harmonies on that record were recorded before Matt ever did his vocals.
Yeah,
so
no,
they're like not even really like, you know what I mean? They're like
Pitch
kind of
correct.
close, but yeah, they're not really pitch correct, and definitely didn't have the budget, nor was it the time where, like, you know, the era of auto. Though also imagine that album with like pitch corrector, like auto tune on it. It would sound fucking weird.
It would have been bad.
Imagine someone go back there and remix it. Just they put auto tune on Dan's backing vocals. Just sounds like T-Pain and fucking. It sounds like T-Pain joined Alkaline Trio. That'd be. I think that's the album that I want. Actually, the more I'm saying it, the more I'm selling it to myself. But,
honestly, yeah, put more effects on Matt Skiba's voice. I think a weird song could be it for them. I think I'm down for something new from them.
But going back though to Stupid Kid, what I wanted to say, one, I mean, so we both have the same introduction because that was mine. I remember seeing this video on Fuse. This was my intro to them, and honestly, I mean, the music video is very memorable and it's great. And not only that, what a fitting first video for them. Like if Alkaline Trio were gonna make a video, this is what you make. Like that video is quintessential them. Like the storyline, the surprise at the end, everything about it, I think really like worked well. Like if you were going to introduce the band, this is the first time where I really think they were thinking about getting to a broader audience. Like that wasn't a thought on Maybe I'll Catch Fire. I don't think Asian Man Records was like trying to make them the next big thing. I don't think they were really trying to get on MTV and stuff as much there. You know, they were going more for like college radio and stuff, but I don't think they had their eyes set as high as where like From Here to Infirmary, they start going, you know, okay, now we are going to try, you know, a little more with that. And I think something like that music video, I think has integrity because it's still Alkaline Trio. It's them going, it's like, okay, we're going to try to make more fans and be broader, but we're not going to lose the darkness of this band. And as far as like just a straightforward breakup song goes, this is one of the best Alkaline Trio. I mean, this kind of goes like with My Friend Peter. It's kind of up there with that where it's just this isn't a metaphorical one where you interpret a bunch of ways. You go, no, like, you know what the song's about a girl. You know what the song's about. Like it's very straightforward in a great way. And I even think of like the chorus is great and it's drawn out. So I feel like it seems so much longer, but it's like 2 sentences. And it's so simple, but it's so straight to the point. Remember when I said, I love you? Well, I take that back. I was just a stupid kid back then. I take back everything I said. Mm-hmm. Like, but the way he delivers that is what makes it. And you're like, holy fuck. Like, this is great. It's very accessible. It's very relatable. Like, I don't know. I mean, Zach, you've argued it and stuff. I mean, you've put your points down and some of them I actually thought were valid, but like, I would argue that I don't know that this one's any less dark than like Steamer Trunk. Like I feel like they're about the same in terms of they're in, you know, they're in major keys and everything. Like they're dark, but they're not that dark. Like I mean, I don't know. That's kind of where I come from. And I'm like, this song is and maybe it is. Maybe it's because it was both our first exposure to the band, but I think this song very much represents this record. Like this song, I'm always waiting for this song to come on because I'm always like, that's the one, you know, it's not even my favorite Alkaline Trio song. And I don't know if I did, I don't know if it'd be in my top 10. I really like this song a lot, but I don't even, top 15 it would easily be. Top 10, I don't want to say off the top of my head because I feel like I would think of 5 other songs that I would put over this. But either way, I think an absolute great fucking song. I don't know. I mean, is there anything else to add, Zach? We know you don't like the song. Kyle, you kind of...
Dude, I mean, I like the song.
I'm not talking shit. I was just saying I don't feel like you have anything else to say about it.
I mean, it was actually one of my first songs, too, because I downloaded We've Had Enough and this song at the same time. I just was more drawn towards We've Had Enough. It has more of a, I guess, a ballsy energy to it.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good song too. They're both fucking jams. But
yeah, and the only thing I want to add to this, as far as like the legend of like this song and the video, is the fact that like I think we all may have posted about it when it happened, but Alkaline Trio just celebrated the 20th anniversary of From Here to Infirmary.
Yeah.
And as a response for that, they re-uploaded the music video for Stupid Kid in like 1080p, like 4K, like the high
HD
resolution
baby
shit. Yeah, and like I had to watch the video again, and it brought back all those memories, and it just looked really clean. It looked new, and it's a fresh coat of paint, but like it looks so good, and like just even looking at the thumbnail right now, it's just like, oh, I want to watch it again. And the fact that they considered re-uploading it after 20 years with a higher quality just shows that like there's still something to be said about that song where they would go back and redo that. That'd be like if Blink did that with All the Small Things. Do they really need to do that? No. Could they? Sure. But there's no purpose to it. Where this, I don't know, the cult following, so to speak, with this song and just this era of this band, it's like a love letter to all the fans.
Oh, totally. And I mean, I'm the same with you. I get nostalgic even when I just see the image still of it, because I'm the same way. I'm like, that's my intro. Like, that's the band for me. Like, there it is. Like, that kid in the hat and everything. Like, I'm like, this is the first. I remember watching, you know what I mean? Being however old I was, 11 or 12 when I first saw it, like, just seeing it on Fuse and shit, just watching TV, like, amazing. Just like so many other bands I discovered that way. But you really have something. I kind of do the same thing. I'm not as big of I've talked about this before, where I think My Chemical Romance are very overrated. And I mean, I still liked them very much back in the day, and I don't hate them now, but I don't really actively listen to them. But I will tell you, if I see the music video to like I'm Not Okay, it's going to take me back to being like 12, sitting at the TV, turning it right to Fuse as I always would, like just to see what's on, and just catching it right there. Same with Sugar We're Going Down, another one where it's like these are like my intros to these bands, and it was on Fuse. Seeing these music videos on Fuse, like they may not even be my favorite songs of all these bands, but the second I see that, I'm transported back onto like my couch as a child, like watching these on TV going, holy fuck, who's this band? A magical feeling. The whole reason why we talk about all this shit, I mean, it's like it does something for you, obviously. You have some kind of connection to this music that you don't just get from just anything you hear. I mean, obviously it's a special kind of music or sound or something about it left an impression or mark on you.
Yeah.
But moving on, Zach, you want to give us your number 2 here?
Okay, so my number 2 is Steamer Trunk's follow-up, You're Dead.
Good one.
Nice.
And I really like this song, and for a lot of reasons, I guess. This was another one of the songs that I discovered I loved, like Steamer Trunk, when I listened from Here to Infirmary all the way through. And it was just one that really stuck out to me because it's slow enough to be ballad-esque, but
I consider this the ballad of the album. It is kind of the ballad of the album. Not in a bad way either, but if there's a ballad on the record, this is the one.
Yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. It's even though it's really slow, I still feel like it has more balls than a slow song, I guess. And I've heard after discovering this is one of like my new favorite songs, as you do, you just like go look up all the different versions or like the live versions of this song, and I found a demo of this song. And you know how the opening line is, what the hell is your name? In the demo, he says, what the fuck is your name? And his guitar tone, maybe you can kind of hear it in the studio album version, but I don't hear really any flange on his guitar tone on that guitar part on You're Dead on the studio album version.
No, me
but
neither.
On the demo, it's just saturated, and it sounds better.
Really? Does the whole thing
because
does just the guitar? Or would you say the whole demo version sounds better than the Infirmary version? Sometimes that happens.
It's really close. Like they should have kept the flange, and like I think he should have kept the fuck too.
That's what there are cases of that. We won't go down that rabbit hole because we could go on it forever. But there are cases where the demo is better than what ends up on the studio version. I've never heard that one.
I'll link you guys both of it if you guys are interested in hearing it, because it is one of my favorite songs.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever heard that version, but there are. I think they're on Vagrant record comps, because I have a comp that has Oh fuck, what's the I can't think of the Bloodied Up. There's like a demo version of Bloodied Up on it, and there's another one off Infirmary that are both demo versions, but they're like more sped up. They're not too like Bloodied Up isn't too different, but it's a little faster, it's a little sloppier. Like I think the studio version's better. I think they cleaned it up where it needed to be cleaned up. But yeah, I wonder if that one ever was on a comp somewhere, because Vagrant would do that. They would throw demos and shit.
I want to find that comp because
they probably do, dude.
Easily,
because there's Infirmary demos on other. I'm telling you, I have 2 or 3 Infirmary demos from one Vagrant comp.
I might do some research on this now. I'm sorry, dude.
I was gonna say I have on my I haven't charged this thing in a while, so I don't know where it is even. But like on my iPod, I have like a whole Alkaline Trio, section, and I have shit tons of like weird Matt home recording demos of just like him noodling on a guitar, playing like certain songs that like end up becoming like songs on an album. If I knew where my iPod was, like I would try to find those songs and I send them over, because there's some really weird like demo tracks that like I've completely forgotten about at this point, but it'd be fun to check out again, because especially now after doing this list, I'm wondering if any of the songs from there are, sprinkled in on those demos that I have. But yeah, some of them are just really different and they sound really shitty because it's just him on like a phone or like a portable microphone, a digital audio recorder or something.
Are you talking about like demo wise? Are we talking back like Infirmary era, like early 2000s?
I really don't remember, because like I always skipped them, like because they were just demos. But
I was just wondering, because you're just
I really don't know.
Like demo quality, like you were saying, like the quality of them too depends so much of the years. Because nowadays you get ones where it's like phone memos can sound somewhat decent. Like you can kind of get a home recording with like your iPhone with just your voice and acoustic guitar, but there's eras of this band when you realize they've been together since the 90s where it's like, yeah, I bet home recordings sounded like real fucked up if it was just like a 4-track and like him with a like acoustic guitar in his bedroom or something. Like home recording is just so different throughout the years. So I was just wondering, kind of off that, it's changed so much throughout the years, but there's a time where I could see where they might not even, they'd be fun to hear for reference, but they might be so rough around the edges just because home recording and demoing like that just wasn't where it is nowadays.
Yeah, and oddly enough, I just found my iPod.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a sign. It's a sign from the punk gods.
Right.
Or Satan. It's Alkaline Trio. It's a sign from Satan, dude.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to note about this song, just because its lyrics are very standout for me. I think that's what shines on this, because obviously the guitar is not doing anything crazy, but the bass is doing some cool stuff. Actually, that riff is one of the bass riffs where I put down a guitar in a while because I was overwhelmed with the complexity of the riff. So the bass riff for You're Dead is kind of hard. So check that out.
I could see that. I've never tried playing it, but he is going like just listening to it.
It's slow, but it's weird, man. It's really like it doesn't make sense. But that wasn't the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make is it's obviously a song about someone close in your life that has died, and I feel like everyone's had that. It's a really relatable song. But one of the things I like about it is the lyrics, obviously, but there's a couple lines that stick out to me. The funny one is, if assholes could fly, this place would be busier than O'Hare. And I know that line probably strikes with you, Kyle, since you're like from Chicago. And I love it like when there's local references brought up in songs, and I guess that's going to be like my hint at my top one. But there's, just the inevitable fact that we're all going to die, and this song kind of highlights that, Yeah.
Fuck.
But, we're nowhere near prepared, and you're never going to know when you die, and, you can never be prepared for that, but it's going to happen. Don't be fucking scared, because it's like you can tell. That's basically what the song's about, and it's just like, I feel like a lot of people are always like, I don't know, man. Like you just have to live life not afraid, and I feel like that's what this song kind of highlights.
I think the best part of it, I will say, is the build up in the bridge. I think the bridge is the best part of this song. That build up is really fucking good. The just that whole fucking we're nowhere near prepared and all that, like, really good. Yeah. I'll also say, if you like this song so much, I would definitely recommend going back and listening to Fine, because I feel like some of the things you're describing here that you like about it.
Oh, I already like the Fine song, so I'm going and listening.
Yeah, I would say the things that you're saying about this song, which you like about it, I would say Fine would jump up there. Not say it'll become like your favorite Alkaline Trio song, but I think if there's elements of this that you like, I think you'll like it in there. No,
okay, sick.
I think this song is good. Like I said earlier, I mean, I think it's kind of the ballad, like, quote unquote ballad. I don't really mean a ballad, but if there's a slower, more heartfelt song, this is it. This is more hard on your sleeve than some of the other, like, because it is. More of the other songs are more like it's less hard on your sleeve. Maybe relatable, but some of it's more of a fuck you and kind of stuff. Where this one's more of like, I feel like let your guard down. Yeah, it's very sad. You let your guard down. You know what it's about. They're very vulnerable, you know, and also, I mean, people at home, I know they're just finally. I know it's been like 2 hours since I mentioned it, but about Sky Harbor, and everyone's still losing their mind about me being going to Sky Harbor Airport. Guys, I've been to O'Hare. Not because of the song, but the whole time that we were driving there, everyone in the car just kept saying, because if assholes could fly, this place would be busier than O'Hare. So yes, I've been to 2 punk rock airports that have been like immortalized in songs.
Yeah, well, just you wait, man. I'm gonna one up you with my number one.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
The way he's talking about it, I think I know what it is.
I already.
Kyle, don't.
I was gonna start singing it. I was gonna start singing because I knew what it was.
Man, don't
but
do it.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. But we know what.
I have a really personal reference to this. So
we know what you said.
My number one.
You let it go though earlier when you.
I know. I was hinting, man. I was hinting.
And I almost started singing it. I almost was gonna be a dickhead.
Oh shit.
No, I'm not, dude. I may be a big enough dickhead to hang up on you, but I'm not a big enough dickhead to start singing the song. Yeah.
No, yeah.
That was weird. All of a sudden, it didn't happen for long, dude. But I swear, you just sounded like Chewbacca. Doing like
I heard it.
Oh, okay. Where he was like gargling Listerine. It was like Chewbacca gargling. It's not you, dude. It was literally like one word, but it was the weirdest thing. Just one word. Whatever you just said, Kyle heard it too. You just sounded
sitting
like
in a guitar stool or sitting on a guitar stool. Is it this sound? I have a couple of these guitar stools, and I kind of use them for seating in my room studio bullshit. So
it hasn't done it yet. I don't think it was that. I think it was fucking Satan or something.
They're kind of noisy, like, you know, those bar stool things. They're cool.
No, fuck yeah. I don't know. Kyle, I guess. I mean, I guess you've been the only one who's been a little quieter on this one. You have anything else to add to You're Dead?
Not really. I really like the song. I just don't really have much else to say.
Well, then.
Nice.
Then I guess we will. Okay, that'd be I was about to say Kyle go to number 1, but don't do that yet because I never said my number 2.
Huh?
I think.
Drop your deuce.
I mean, fuck. Apparently, we just love this record because my song is also off From Here to Infirmary. But I mean, I talked about it earlier with Madam Me being like such a good track 2 song and the 1-2 punch. But Mr. Chainsaw, number 2, I gotta go. Mr. Chainsaw. There was a time in my teenage years, if you asked a younger Anthony, if you got in a time machine and went like 10 years back and you go, hey, motherfucker, what's your favorite Alkaline Trio song? I'll go, well, hey, motherfucker, it's Mr. Chainsaw. And I mean,
hell yeah.
It's really, this has probably been one of my favorites since the beginning. I think it's just one of those, again, it's like, yeah, like people have written songs about growing up and kind of just what it's about, like coming of age and everything. But like, it's just so matter of fact. It goes back to what makes them so good. They're not a punk band or a pop punk band just singing about girls and shit. They sing about different things, but that you can relate to. And I think this is a song that I think as you, maybe not even in your teenage years, but as you go into your late teens, into your 20s and everything. I mean, this song is just everything about it, you can relate to it, but it's also, it goes back to that, like, you can relate to it, but it also goes and it's the metaphors and shit in it and stuff. Like it's not all straightforward, but there are elements of it where it's like, okay, like I get what it's about and everything. But I love, the imagery of just Mr. Chainsaw and all the other things, the fucking, was it steak knives or the knives in his eyes, whatever the lines are, but just about all the way, all those different things that are just genius Matt Skiba lyrics where they're just demented. They're just kind of demented, but great. Like it's just so catchy and just like works so well, even though maybe it shouldn't. But always was my number one for a long time. And his went up there and has stayed around there. Underrated bass line. This is one of Dan's best fucking bass lines. Like this is another one. I know we keep talking about it, but driving bass lines, he fucking kills it on this song. Like this whole song is him. Like you listen to that. He's just going fucking nuts the whole time. And it's a great track too. I think the lyrics paint an amazing picture and just classic dark Skiba lyrics. And another one too, I did write a fun song, like another one that has to be in your live set. This is a good live fucking song. This is another one to get people off their feet, moving around. I put this up there just as important as like a My Friend Peter or something, where it's like, if you want to get the crowd moving, this is a song to pull out. And I think this is another one that I think they did pull out. Oh, no, I don't think it was. I think it was Take Lots with Alcohol. They played.
Oh, I love that song.
That one they played on the Newfound Glory co-headliner that I wasn't expecting. Because I remember they played a song off Infirmary that I was not expecting at all. But I think it was Take Lots with Alcohol and not Mr. Chainsaw. I actually don't know that I've ever heard
drum
him play.
Opener.
That drum is fucking so good.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Sugar, We're Going Down, man. This is the best drum. This is the best drum opener, like the most iconic for me. I don't know. Sugar We're Going Down is probably the most commercially iconic, I guess. But like Take With Lots of Alcohol is probably like my favorite. Like
it's a better intricate one because the Sugar We're Going Down is more memorable, but I think there's more intricacy and like talent to the to that one. Because the other thing too is that drum beat and Sugar We're Going Down. Do both of you? Okay, this is very sidetracked for just 10 seconds. But do both of you know the Plain White T's song? I think it's I Really Don't Like You. It was like their first big
that sounds awful.
It's not a bad. I haven't heard it in years.
No, yeah.
But
is it good?
I used to like the Plain White T's a lot. I'll be honest. I haven't listened to. I fell off after their first like 2 records. I used to really like. I don't know that I can sit here and say they stood the test of time because I just don't know. But the first few records were good. Plus, their drummer was the drummer of Knockout, which, should have been as big as Fall Out Boy. Fucking amazing fucking band. So he gets that. But anyways, what I was talking about before was just, there's in the bridge of that song, they basically do that same drum beat that the opening of Sugar We're Going Down is. And I just wondered if you guys heard it, because I've always wondered if everyone else hears that too. And I feel like that too, like that drum beat's just kind of it's memorable, but it's simple. Where Take Lots with Alcohol, I go, that sounds like you actually have to think about what you're playing. Like that seems more intricate to me. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. Anyway, back to Mr. Chainsaw. I don't know. I guess I've said quite a bit. It's just, it's a great song about getting older, coming of age, and just the end, like, and I'm gonna reference Jawbreaker again, but another kind of Jawbreaker like thing with the in case you're wondering, we're singing about growing up and giving in. It kind of reminds me like Jawbreaker does a lot, and including on like Sluttering, where at the end of the song basically the same thing. If you hear this song 100 times, it still won't be enough, and just like kind of yelling over and over again, like the song's like telling you what it's about, like. This song's about like a girl and shit, and just he kind of does the same thing in this, where it's like, hey, like if you can't figure out, this is what the fucking song is. Like I love that it's kind of sarcastic, but it's kind of like it's also very sincere. Like I don't know, I just love that the whole song kind of ends by like just describing to you everything you just heard. I think it's an amazing track too, but at the same time, I think it also could have worked as a track one. Not that I want to get rid of Private Eye by any means, but if this for some reason was track one, I think it would work as track one as two. Just because of the fucking energy of it. Like right away, knocks you off your fucking ass from start to finish.
Yeah. Again, another one of those songs that were easily linked. Actually, both songs you referenced, this and Take Lots of Alcohol. Two more songs that were floating around my top 15. But yeah, the lyrics in this song, it's another one of those, like, these lyrics aren't something that most people would sing about, but it works with Matt Skiba and like his delivery and his timing. And yeah, all those quirky little lines, like I took a hammer and two nails to my eardrums long ago.
So fucking
they have
good.
The steak knife took my eyes. The whole Mr. Chainsaw gave it to my legs a long, long time ago. Like those things, like taking away basically like, you know, your hearing, your seeing, like your mobility, like shit like that, like where there's like really odd storytelling where they're kind of like in this, they're like picking out like certain like limbs and senses that like you're using in your day to day. And just adding those little like fucked up lines about it and there's like how they're being taken away from you. I find so interesting and fun, and it makes me wish like I was that kind of lyricist because I've tried writing lyrics like that before and it's never worked out. But it's definitely where the inspiration comes from with songs like this, where he's so witty and so smart, and it's just I can't get enough of it.
He's witty but matter of fact because like I just like pulled up the like opening lyrics, but it's like. Right away, when was it that you lost your youth or traded it for something more than them to use so jaded? Why is it that you never said I love you more than just a friend? It's just like, it's just growing older. That's you. You slowly get older. You settle on things. People tell you no. You know, people drift away. This opportunity you had, you know, you squander it. Or this, it's just that very much. And then I pray this gridlock never ends. Like, as he keeps going, you're going like, oh, he's in, like, he starts as a teen or a child and goes to a teen and then goes to 20, you know, 20 something, then a 30 something. And it's like, I truly think as you listen to this song, it's just, it's basically the harsh reality of life. Same with even the limb thing, like with all that, like even if he's being a little more graphic with it about like the chainsaw and all that, you do lose your hearing, you do lose your sight, like all these things of just growing older and becoming, you know, just going more towards the end and kind of the bleakness that Alkaline Trio does sometimes, you know, have. And I don't know if this is bleak. I feel like it's both. I mean, it's really more than anything. I don't know if it's bleak as much as going, this is something that we don't want to talk about, but it's true. And it is. It's about growing up and giving in. It's literally about you growing up thinking all the dreams because everyone does. Like everyone at one point, you know, we all see people who, you know, are much older than us, you know, whatever that may be. But it's like you may see someone and you go, they're just old. You don't know them when they were younger. You don't know them when they were vibrant, when they had life in them and dreams and shit. And it's like, but everyone was that at some time. Every old fucking, like, you know, like Zach was talking about being in the nursing home or whatever, in the infirmary. All those old people at one time were young, bright fucking like people with futures ahead of them and like everything to gain and just all of that shit. And this song is just kind of about, it's not even all about just the bad side of that, but it's just matter of fact. It's like you get older, you sell out, you know, you think you're going to be this or that, but you end up not being this or that. You know, you end up in fucking gridlock traffic or, you know, I mean, anything like that. You end up not with the person you thought you were going to end up with. Like this song is just very much about, it's like, this is like, these are the harsh fucking realities of life. It's very matter of fact.
Yeah. And like, even like, yeah, as matter of fact is that the line that they have here, from blocks away, I heard somebody screaming, that small child inside of you that you let bleeding.
I love that
you
line.
stabbed him up not once, but twice. Cubicles will now suffice. Like you're basically, yeah, like you have accepted the fact that your youth is gone and you just have to basically live as an adult in this like corporate bullshit world. And like, that's like you killing off any dreams that you had. And it's just like, you're stuck with a boring ass life and you're going to fucking die that way. Like it sucks to think that way, but that's how like it feels in this song. It's just like you're finally giving in to growing up and giving. Yeah, it's just
The following line,
yeah.
like following that too, I like the whole like some will say it's the roll of the dice. I think they're wrong. I know I'm right. And that is the part though of Optimism where I feel like that's him kind of saying he realizes that doing that 9 to 5 or that cubicle job, you know, that soulless job, just to the 9 to 5 to make money, to, you know, work to live to work kind of shit. Like he sees that trap at least. You know, there is that self-awareness of there's some people who say it's a roll of dice or it's like that's just what you have to do. You know, like that's just life. But there is a part of him there where it's like, well, no, fuck that. You know, I mean, like it is matter of fact, but there is kind of a part of it where there is a fuck that. And like you were talking about too, that small child inside of you left bleeding in the cubicles and everything. He is pointing out why this, you know what I mean? Like he is also pointing out what we do as well. To, you know, it's not all things outside of our power. It is also talking about, literally. I mean, again, everything we're saying, he sums up in the bridge. It's about growing up and giving in. It is about, you know, fuck your dreams. I got to make money. You know, I'm going to get the cubicle job. And you do that, I mean, literally, like, I love that your inner child, you're murdering him. Like, as you put on that suit and tie and you go, you know, your 2 hours of traffic in and out of work to get back to suburbia. And, you know, I mean, just even that, like, even things that he doesn't put in there, it conjures up images in my head right away. And I think with everyone else where it does, it makes you think of the worst case scenario, your fear, like things you don't want in life, the fears of where you could end up or what could happen. And I mean, just a fucking genius song. I mean, I love it. I love the imagery, and I love the fucking title. I mean, the song's called Mr. Chainsaw. That rules. Yeah. That's a great fucking song. One of my
friends through high school, his AOL username had Mr. Chainsaw in it, and I thought it was the best fucking thing.
That is a good fucking username, Mr. Chainsaw. That could even be a good band name, I feel like.
You know what would be a good band name, though? Coney 420, something about, you know, I'm not really for sure. It's kind of vague. It's there, but I don't really know yet.
I'd put a Coney 2012 in there somewhere.
Yeah, dude, I think it was I'm referencing you, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Wait, did you not catch that when I just said I realized you're referencing me the whole time.
Oh, I know.
I caught on to that the second you said Tony and 420. I knew you were doing my Twitter handle.
No, I said Coney, bro.
Oh, I heard Tony.
Yeah, well,
Tony Coney.
Name. Yeah, Coney, dude.
That's what I thought you were saying. Oh, never mind. You know what? This has nothing to do with the song, but I was so lost for a second. You said Coney, but I thought you said Tony.
Jeez.
Yeah. Wild.
All right.
It looks like there is a rapper that goes by the name Mr. Chainsaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of sick, though.
God damn, I didn't know. Now, he should just sample Alkaline. Yeah, he should only sample Alkaline Trio songs.
Dude, I'll listen to his music.
That would be pretty dope. Yeah, just all fucking sampled. Well, actually, and we'll get back to this, but Legion of Doom. Or either of you? Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not really familiar.
So good.
Mashup. So Trevor Keith of Face to Face, he used to do it, I think with someone else, but they would just mash up emo. What's the biggest one? I think was Screaming. It was like Screaming Infidelities and the Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. I think that was probably the biggest one.
It was Quiet Screaming.
Yes.
And then what was it? There was what was the other one? I Know What You Buried Last Summer, which was
Buried Alive, and I know You're So Last Summer. That's so fucking Zach. You would probably love these, but yeah, they would mash up just like
someone link me.
So they just look up Legion of Doom, or I'll link you when we're done doing this.
Hold on. I have another tab going.
Yeah, they're. I think it's up your alley. It's probably something. I think this is up your alley. I think you'll like it. It is really fucking cool. Yeah. Start with the Quiet Screaming. That's the most well-known one, and that's probably one of the most well-done ones. But yeah,
okay, this will be the only circumstance I listen to Brand New because I actually just don't listen to them anymore.
Well, you will for this,
Me
and
neither,
I don't listen. Yeah,
it's cool.
But this time
Yeah.
you can. You can for this, and then don't listen again.
It's technically kind of the dashboard too.
Yeah, there you go. But
yeah.
but anyway, that's what I thought of when you were talking about that with a rapper named Mr. Chainsaw sampling Alkaline Trio. Was I immediately thought of Legion of Doom. I wonder why Trevor Keith.
Yeah, because they had what was it? Stupid Kill.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right, man. I forgot. So they did hit Alkaline Trio. I was going to ask him. I was supposed to interview him a few years ago at a face-to-face show, and that was one of my questions I had. I was going to ask him if he ever considered or ever thought about doing Legion of Doom again, because I feel like it did quite well on the internet for him. That was a thing on the internet, or back in the day. I mean, now I don't know how many people really remember it, but for a moment there, I think that got quite a few listens and views and shit.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing in my high school that people were definitely into.
But
1.4 million for that brand new one.
Which back in the day, that was a lot. Now that's not really great numbers, but back then, that was pretty. That was pretty good. But anyway, let's get back into this. It's time for number one. Fucking Kyle, you start this.
Oh boy,
we're 3 hours later, which is actually early. I feel like we're getting through this faster than we normally do. Let's do number.
I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll fucking finish this up then. We'll get going.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
But I'm talking about the ones that we've had at midnight.
Those ones.
And I'm like, guys, I can't do it anymore.
Oh, you were off. What was it? Dogs eating dogs. I think Zach, you hung up. I think you did have work. I think me and Kyle were on the phone. I was getting a sub at Sheets, and as we were hanging up, my phone said 5 hours on it. And half of that wasn't even on the podcast. Remember, we were just talking for half of it. We weren't even recording for 2.5 hours. I was just getting a sub at this point.
That's 5 songs.
Yeah. Oh no, that no, I feel like this was a fast one for us. But no, Kyle, you cut this, cut the ribbon. What is your number one? We're waiting. Fucking drum roll.
Yeah.
Give it up, dude.
All right. My number one has actually been referenced already in this episode, but with some hate from you assholes, it's Warbrain.
Oh, bro, I love Warbrain.
I love Warbrain too. Actually, I feel like Zach. I'm going to throw Zach under the bus. I feel like Zach was the only one talking shit. I just said it needs more distortion on the guitar. It's a great fucking song.
It kind of sounds reminiscent of Blink-esque, but
look at both of us cover our asses. Look at both of us just covering our asses right away when he says it's his favorite.
Yeah,
bro, I take Warbrain out. I searched.
No, I do like Warbrain's a great fucking song. But it is hilarious that 2 and 1 was Stupid Kid and Warbrain, and both had some criticisms early on.
No, and that's why I didn't say anything during those times, because I'm like, I'm gonna wait this out.
How much is your tongue bleeding from just biting it for half this episode?
I'm sure there's an Alkaline Trio lyric in there somewhere that I can use.
God damn, you're right, dude. That's an Alkaline Trio lyric waiting to fucking be written, or it already has. Yeah, it's just a reference.
But yeah, so Warbrain, there's a story to why this song's even relevant to me. And it's first, I had an acquaintance friend a number of years ago, actually 10 years ago now. Yeah. He passed away in a car accident, and Warbrain was just his favorite song. And I knew of it, never really paid too much attention of it. I'd usually skip it because there's that, the talking, that little...
Yeah, the intro.
That little
weird move on that song.
But, so, I used to, I knew it, but I was just kind of I don't really need to hear this part. And so he passed away, and some friend of ours had a wedding, and they wanted him to be, a part of the wedding. So there was going to be, a group, togetherness with, the bridal party and stuff like that, and they were going to play this song. I'm like, oh, that would be kind of cool. Let's do it. And it blew my mind how many people just at the wedding in general, knew the song, and the crowd got bigger around us as the song was playing. And it was, everyone just had their hands up, kind of being like, Chris, you're here with us, and loving it. And I was like, man, I got to revisit this song. Cause I knew the song. I just didn't care too much about it. to end up becoming, I brought this up a long time ago to you, Anthony. This was actually the first official song I ever learned on bass.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, you did tell me that, which I thought fucking cool. It's a fucking, you don't,
sick song.
It's not the one you would expect either. Like if you were going to learn an Alkaline Trio song.
No, not at all. And the reason why I even chose it is because it was his favorite song and he was a bass player. So I'm like, you know what? I want to learn this song for my buddy. And so like, I knew how to play like Damn It on bass, but it's not like I looked up the tabs. I just kind of knew how to play it, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I don't count that. This was something I actually like, I'm going to actually look and do my research on. So did all that. And somewhere, I think either on my computer or maybe like on my iPod or something, there's like a recording of me playing over it, just audio. And I remember feeling so like proud and accomplished that like my first bass song was like this awesome song, which the bass on this song is just ridiculous. Like it's so fun to listen to. And if you don't have your settings right on like your speakers or your headphones or whatever, you're not going to really like be able to appreciate the bass work on this song unless you actually have it set right. And with that, it was on a Rock Against Bush, and that's how this song was released initially before Remains came out. And a buddy of mine had Rock Against Bush, and I wasn't super into politics, but I thought the song was kind of cool. And just everything about it, like it's super fast, it's super fucking punchy. You know, there's no BS to it. Like, at least in my opinion, it's the only thing really is the story behind it. It's whether if you believe it's, you know, something about, you know, the war, or if you think about I think I read somewhere that both of Matt's parents were in like Vietnam or something.
Yeah, I think they were.
The Storm of 59. The Storm of 59 is about like the world's like, or Japan's worst fucking typhoon that happened during Vietnam. And then there's like another like hurricane that happened in 59 as well on the East Coast. But the song itself, I think it's so well written musically and lyrically. Whether you understand the story or not, there's something about that song that like I think anyone can relate to on some level.
Definitely.
There's like I think too, yeah, even if you didn't dwell far into the meaning of it, there's definitely a love, you know what I mean? There's a connection there where I feel like it's talking about someone's lover or something, either being, whether it's war that separates them or something. I always get that out of it too, and I'm like, I feel like you can relate to it about someone who you miss, kinda. Like I feel that way about the song. Mm-hmm. I go, it's almost retrospective in that way. Like he's almost talking about things that already happened. You know what I mean? Like it's not said in present tense. I feel like a lot of it's about events leading up to it almost. So I feel that way. Like I listen to it, I almost feel like you listen to it and you kind of think of like someone that it's like, yeah, that you just miss for whatever circumstance. But and I mean that's just surface level. I mean there is so much more going there. But like what you were saying, I think the relatability of it is like, yeah, even if you don't like try to read into it, and like even just like, oh, it's called War Brain, and you just stop there, it's like I think there's something you'll find in it that you like right away. You know what I mean? It's very, very likable, like no matter what.
I think the fact that he just uses like the lines or the lyrics, like I need that song, those trusty chords to pull me through, and you know, shit like that. Like everyone has a song that like when they're fucking down and they need something to pick them up, everyone has that kind of song. And these lyrics kind of like tell you like that this song can be that thing. And when I started listening to this song more, that's how I related it with my friend who passed away, is that like I needed this song to pull me through the shit that like I was feeling, because he was kind of like the first person amongst like my friend group kind of that did pass away. So that was like my first real experience with like losing someone relatively close that wasn't family, because I haven't really lost family at that point. And the weirdest thing about it, and what really like kicked it into overdrive for me, was there was one day, me and the group of friends, we were coming home from a restaurant, and we just happened to be passing the cemetery that he was buried at. And while we were driving, like no one had their hands on the iPod. Warbrain came on as we're passing his fucking cemetery. and we had to turn around. We had to turn around and pull in and like visit him because it was just too fucking weird. And like, I'm not a big believer in like ghosts and spirits and this and that, but like that was something that was so weird because everyone looked at each other and we looked at the iPod and everyone was like, I didn't touch it. And like no one had their hands on it. It was just like in like a cup holder or something. So it was just extremely strange.
That's fucking nuts.
That's wild,
It was
man.
weird.
I like that.
It was weird.
I like that meaning, but that you have behind this song, though.
That's a great
sure.
reason for it
Yeah,
to like it so much. Definitely a good. I totally get why that would be your number one. I mean, that holds a lot of weight to it.
Yeah. And that was like a later addition in my life. So like if it wasn't Warbrain in the number one, it either would have been like Stupid Kid or Hell Yes, or even like, like some other songs like Jack on Green Beers, Old School Reasons, Standard Break from Life. Like those songs probably would have made it onto my list.
All
but
classics.
like Warbrain kind of just like skyrocketed like into like my favorites because of this situation that happened.
It totally makes sense. I could definitely see why that would be. I mean, amazing song too, but like with that thrown on, yeah. I mean, really, that's a great story with it. But
yeah, like I said, all these songs I have something to really relate to. So there's a lot of like personal meaning behind it. So some of it's not even just like the guitar riff or, the lead notes or the bass line. It's very much the story that I get from the song and where I can apply it in my life. And that was the situation that this song came into my life.
that's what I love about music, when things can do that for you. A song that makes you think of a person or transports you back to a time. Like, I think music does that more than just about anything else. I think the right song can, good or bad, can transport you back to a certain time, can make you think of a certain person, can make you think of yourself at a certain time. Like, it's crazy the time capsule that a song can like truly be. I mean, it's really crazy the kind of weight a song can fucking hold. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I was going to say it has nothing so much to do with the song, but those Rock Against Bush comps were fucking good. My God, some amazing song. I love compilations, though. Both of those have some really some unreleased songs from bands. Some are just whatever. They're like, you've heard them other places, but I want to say, oh yeah, they did. Green Day had Favorite Son on there, which was pretty good. I don't think you could find that another place. Those comps are well worth hunting down if anyone's never checked them out. Fat Records did them back in the early 2000s.
And a Chuck B-side.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? Some 41.
Yeah, there's a Chuck B-side on there. I want to say it's...
Like, every
It's also
fucking
the
band was
B.
on those. Those comps were
can't
fucking
think of-
huge.
Hold on, I'm about to figure it out.
I know, I'm looking it up right now too. Like a buddy
It's
of
like
mine had
Moron.
it.
Oh, yeah, it's Moron or something, right?
It is Moron.
Okay.
It is definitely
Yeah,
Moron.
A buddy of
Baghdad,
mine
that's
had
another
it.
good
I
one.
just never.
Offspring song
Yeah.
on there, that's a good one. Those comps are really good. So I had to add that. Besides that, I mean, it's a good song. It is one of their best B-sides. I think probably in my top 5. I was talking Remains, and I do like my top 5 songs off that. I would say this one would probably sit at 5 or 4 for me. I think really, really good. My only real complaint with, like I said earlier, I think the guitar could be beefed up more because he's not doing a lot. Like that opening line, he's just playing the like da na na, like that. I think could be just beefed up, but that's just like, that's like recording and shit. Like the song itself, really good, and I've never heard him do it. But I feel like that song could sound really good acoustic. As we've talked about songs that would be good stripped back, I feel like he could do a haunting version of that. Why? You know what?
Yeah, that'd be
Definitely.
cool.
Why? That's a wasted opportunity. Why was that not on Damnesia? I never thought of that. That would have been a song to put on Damnesia. I would have loved to hear.
B-side, probably.
Yeah, but they play it live. I've heard them play Warbrain. Like, that's a fan favorite. That's a song that's like beloved. Like, that's not one that they have to worry about it being too obscure. I'm actually surprised. That would have been a really rad full band. I would have rather them do that than like Private Eye. I didn't love their version of Private Eye on Damnesia. I think it would have been cooler if they went what am I talking about? That was on Infirmary. I was about to say if they used this song off Infirmary. But I think this would have been a better one in lieu of a few songs that they did on there. I think this would have been a better one. But I don't know, Zach, you got anything else to add to this one?
Well, before I go into my number one, I kind of wanted to touch on, you said compilations, and it's related because it's Alkaline Trio, of course. And I believe someone had mentioned Jaded on Green Beers. I think that was you, Kyle.
That's one of their best B-sides, too.
Jack on Green Beers, yeah.
Atticus,
Hell
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picked up the Atticus comp because, I like the shirts and shit. But I picked that up at a record store for like $1, and I thought like in like 2017, so pretty like recently, and I thought like it was just like a 6 score. And then I had never heard Jaded on Green Beers, and it like opens that compilation, and it's really good.
Yeah, it's one of
That's
their...
not my number one. I just wanted to weigh in on that.
Well, now it actually is your turn. What is your number one? Give your big reveal.
My number one is Fuck You Aurora off of Maybe I'll Catch Fire.
Wow, I was not... That is a good pick, but I was not in a million years expecting that at all.
It's because I have a really personal reference to it. So I actually had my experience before I had heard the song. But I majored in marketing, and I used to go to these conferences with my professors almost to network, and, just like learn different things about marketing, like what's happening and stuff. But anyways, it was at Aurora University, and part of this conference was that there was a student-led competition, and it was like you were given a scenario, and you studied the scenario in the hallway for 5 minutes, and then you had to come up with like a marketing strategy and present it to them for like under like 10 minutes. Like it had to be a well thought out marketing strategy, and like you had like 5 minutes and like a half a piece of paper, like anyways, that's beside the point. It was just like it was like a high stress situation. We went in there, and it was me and one other girl representing my college, because the marketing club was not popping at my tiny little Midwest school, but we were still going to do it. Anyways, we presented in front of like these older graduate students, and they were like, "Thank you for your time," whatever. Long story short, the judges who were judging the competition were Aurora University alumni. And obviously the people who won the competition was Aurora University. And I was just like, we were just kind of all salty. And it was like my mentor was there. She's one of my professors. And then another professor of mine was there just for the ride, because it was honestly a sick conference. And then my other friend, Darby, like she was the marketing club president, and I was the vice president. So we were just there, and we all just were like, are you kidding me? So then afterwards we went out and got beers in Aurora, but I just was like, kind of that I liked my time there. I just was just like, wow, that was kind of shitty. And then like a year later, when I was going through the discography for Trio, I discovered this song, and I was like, they have to be singing about Aurora, Illinois. And I was like, and then, I just figured out like they're from Chicago, and of course they're singing about Aurora, Illinois. And one last note, I'll just point out, the song's basically about Matt's friend who moved to Aurora to take a deal with Chrysler, because their manufacturing plant used to be in Aurora. It's not anymore. Mm-hmm. I've checked, but that's basically what the song's about. But like, I think about it as like my own thing. Like, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, Aurora. Like that, kind of like a little bit bitter about it. And I've actually like covered this before. And you know how the line is, you'll never catch me behind the wheel of a Chrysler ever again. Like when I performed this live, I changed the last lyric to you'll never catch me wearing a necktie at AU ever again. So I thought it was kind of cool to like tie it back. I don't know, man. I love this song, and I love that like I can also hate Aurora with Matt Skiba.
It's I definitely was not expecting it. It's not a bad song by any means, and I would say I really like it, and it's kind of different for Alkaline Trio. I don't feel like it's.
Oh, it's weird. The verses are super clean, like one of his cleanest guitar tones for that early on.
Well, it's more to me. It's '90s influence, but it's like it doesn't sound straight up like Weezer, but it has more of this more slow. It's not as fast tempo, but it's heavy. It has more of this. It's almost more in that heavier power pop side, like with an edge, like an Alkaline Trio edge, but kind of falls more in some of that power pop indie rock of the 90s that was going on. I would say more than a conventional Alkaline Trio song. You know, I mean, not total left field from them, but I think they went and did kind of like, you know, kind of their same influences, but did like another side of their influences that they wouldn't always channel. And definitely, I like too because like that with the song is it seems he takes something like that about it being his friend moving away, but it's like he makes it so it seems more urgent and about more, and you're not, you know, like there. I love that he takes a real life event and kind of, you know, makes it like a Skiba like song where it's like you kind of get what he's singing about, but he does kind of make it a little cryptic too, but personal too with the whole Chrysler thing and shit. Like just really. Really good, you know what I mean? Like adds dimensions to the song and the lyrics and shit in terms of that, which Matt's always good at. But I don't know. I mean, solid song. I don't have a ton to add to this one, honestly. I've always liked it. I don't know where it would land on mine. I don't think it would ever land in like top 10 or anything. But I would say it's one of the highlights of maybe I'll Catch Fire. I do think it's one of the better songs on there, and I think that line too. Just there's something about you won't catch me behind the wheel of a Chrysler ever again that just stays with you. There's something about just that line in particular, and actually the "Fuck You Aurora." I mean, really that whole chorus kind of sticks with you because it's just really
definitely
it's and that kind of is the indie rock pop, kind of like power pop of like again where it may not sound straight up like Weezer, but Weezer would write a quirky. They may not sing like "Fuck You Aurora," but like Weezer would write something quirky like that and do it mid tempo. Like that song. That song is more kind of mid-tempo, and yeah, I don't know. I like it, but I don't really know what else to add. I like the song, but I don't know. I have no real like deep connection. How about you, Kyle? What do you think about this one?
Well, I mean, nowhere near as detailed as Zach, but like I have like, you know, not exactly Aurora per se, but I have something of a feeling towards Aurora / the town of Naperville, which they are two towns literally right on top of each other.
It's getting local as hell. I like this.
Yeah, and there's such a weird divide between those two towns where like you'll like one person will say like, oh, that's the rich side of the neighborhood and this is the poor side. And it's like the main road. I would get even more local. I think it's Route 59 cuts right through the middle of the towns. And it's so weird. The demographic change of like people there where it's like, you get like the super richy kind of like snooty kids. And then you kind of have like the more like lower, you know, mid-class families and a little bit more, you know, just kind of dirty and grimy. And it's cool that this song kind of reminds me of that, but I don't know. It's cool that it has such a local reference to me. Even like what we were talking about earlier with what was the other song that had the I'm drawing a blank.
Your
like,
Dad?
I know like Private. Yeah, Your Dad. And then
Private
Eye has Watch. They have a Watch Flies Fuck on Channel 11, which is like a local like basic cable TV channel out here, especially in Chicago. So like all those little references were always cool, but this one was probably the most fun because it was a strict "fuck you, Aurora."
I like when bands do that. I mean, there's including I feel like Illinois and Chicago in particular has so many different like landmarks or places to like reference. I'm always into that, and also like it's cool too because you learn about places. Like honestly, I didn't know Aurora. I didn't know there was Aurora, Illinois until right now. The only Aurora I've ever heard of is Aurora, Colorado. Like I didn't know there was even an Aurora, Illinois.
You can even go deeper than that and watch Wayne's World. and they're from Aurora, Illinois.
I've never seen Wayne's World.
Wild.
Whoa.
You would love that movie, man.
I probably would. I've always heard people say good things, but I've just never seen, and I have nothing against it. I would watch it. There's nothing about me that's like, fuck you, fuck Dana Carvey and Mike Myers.
Mike Myers is sick.
I would watch it. I just
Yeah.
never have for whatever reason.
And like the only other quirky little local thing I'll bring up, because they are a local band, Matt Skiba, the high school that he went to, in McHenry, one of my old coworkers went to school with him, and they like hated each other because the coworker I had was like a blues guitar player, and Matt Skiba was obviously like a punk rock guy, and he used to talk about like Matt being like a terrible like guitarist and playing like Battle of the Bands at schools and just sounding like shit, and so like he never
Sounds like
liked
me.
Matt. And then one of my first real bands I got into, my bass player, he went to the school in a town called Elgin called St. Ed's, which come to find out that Danny went to school there. And my bass player got to meet his mom and end up going into his house, and he was able to pick anything out of this like almost like bedroom that just had like records and like little posters and this and that, T-shirts, and he picked Maybe I'll Catch Fire as like a vinyl. So he got to take that home and he put it in like his window to like, to display it. But because it was in a window,
Yeah, that's not the move.
It sun faded the fuck out of the
yeah.
casing of it. So the back of the vinyl, like just the sleeve, is like pure white and just like super dingy. And he's like, that's like one of the biggest regrets of my life, going to Dan Adriano's mom's house and ruining a vinyl.
I had it wasn't a vinyl, but you know how like back in the day at record stores they would have like the album art for something, but it was fucking huge. It'd be like a big old square, like 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Like, you ever seen those? They're made of cardboard.
Oh yeah, man. They're what are they called? They're almost. I thought they were called like They're not mailers, but like I know they're like promo. Like they're not. It's almost like they're almost for like photo ops, and like because I actually got one.
Wait, are you thinking a press kit? Are you talking about like a photo like of the band?
Nah, man, I'm talking about the album artwork.
Oh, okay.
I got one as a gift, and it's for The Art of Losing.
And it's really big, right?
By American Hi-Fi. It's pretty. It's not as huge. It's about probably the size of a record, if not.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
Bigger.
So there's two things. You're thinking of promo flats, and this is.
Oh, that is what I'm saying.
This is, and I do have those. I know what you're talking about. This though is like I'm talking about. It's like 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Like it's the album cover on a big piece of like flat, basically cardboard that they used to like display in like record stores. You get them. Well, anyway,
like a giant pizza box.
Yeah, basically a giant pizza box, but it's like fucking 3 feet tall. I had one. I bought one at a store at a record theater in Buffalo, RIP. But they used to sell them, and I bought Ocean Avenue, and I put it in my window. And I'm a fucking idiot. The same reason. Like 2 years later, it was in my bedroom window. Just for years, never took it out. And like by year 2, which is funny because think about the Ocean Avenue cover. It's that girl.
It's already faded.
Yeah, it's already fading, but like it just faded it more. But you couldn't tell for like the first year or two because the album covers already looks faded, but the fucking sun just faded it so much that now it's like a big white fucking square. Like you can't even tell it ever like was the Ocean Avenue album cover. They're really cool, and I mean you could only record stores had them, and they didn't last because they're literally like a piece of like they're not super flimsy. I guess they're a little better quality than like paper, but it's like they just probably got thrown away or thrown like they were not made to last. So it's hard to find them. But yeah, I remember doing the same thing. You don't leave shit in windows with the sun like exposing them because it normally doesn't end well. Anyway.
Side note, it's super cool when guitars take on different coloration. That was the last thing.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
like
my only
through
guitar
age?
comment the whole podcast.
No, I do like that though. No, that's I do like that with the old ones, like Les Paul. Well, now we're just going, but yeah, I like when they wear differently, like throughout the years. They'll be a different color than they started. That is pretty rad. But getting back to the song at hand, do we have anything for "Fuck You, Aurora"? Anything else, or should we do the very last one here?
Close it out.
Close it fucking out. Okay,
Yeah.
So my number one. The only song I like more than Mr. Chainsaw. Now, this list was very hard to do, except for like my top two, because I knew Mr. Chainsaw was there, and I knew my fucking number one. I gotta go back to God Damn It, and gotta go with As You Were. This song to me sums up the genius of early Alkaline Trio, and a lot of just what I like about Alkaline Trio as a whole. The fucking song, just from the beginning, it's so fucking fast. It's so... Now, this one, too, earlier I mentioned Green Day, and I've mentioned Jawbreaker a few times. They very much... Which, I mean, fuck, they have a song called San Francisco on this record, but, like, Bay Area punk was very big, I think, for early Alkaline Trio. I think those guys will tell you a lot of those, like, East Bay bands and a lot of bands like Jawbreaker, like Green Day, like Crimpshine... just all those bands from like San Francisco were huge on them. And this song, I mean, feels like it just comes from that whole scene. And I mean, just pure fucking energy. Again, nothing crazy. I mean, even the bass does a few neat things, but I don't feel like none of them are doing anything nuts. I will say Glenn Porter, this is quite a good drum song. I think right away with the beginning on it, he just hits them. He hits them very well. Like, I mean, dynamically and everything, the drums sound fucking cool, but it's just one of those songs where it's all energy. I mean, the song is pure energy. And if this song, it goes back to the same with My Friend Peter. If you put this song on a later Alkaline Trio record, you'd lose. Part of the charm is that it's rough around the edges, that it sounds live. This song sounds so live. This song, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I guess they didn't, because we talked about that. Dan recorded his vocals and bass early because he had to go on tour, but like this song sounds so much like they were all in the room at the same time recording it, that like they just fucking hit record, did one take, like in the best way. Like it's just a song, and this is one I would love to hear live that I've never heard live, and I don't know that we ever will. I don't know that they play much. I've heard them play like 97 and stuff, and they don't play a whole lot of like old shit from like way back. I think I maybe heard them play Cop once. But this is one that I think should be thrown in there. I mean, this is another one where if you love the intensity of, I mean, songs like this is the beginning of it. Like songs like Armageddon, I'm Dying Tomorrow, Steamer Trunk, like some of those more fast-paced songs and my favorite like fucking parts of Alkaline Trio, this is the beginning of it. I think this was like one of their first real ones where it's like this song is just a no-nonsense. And as a trio, too, it's just three guys on fucking fire for however long the song is. I mean, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, however long it is, they're on fucking fire the whole time. I mean, this entire song, great use of octaves from Matt. I mean, we've talked about it the whole time, but, I mean, he knows how to use octaves. And this song, the whole beginning of it, I think, it just hits you right away, and a big part of it is those octaves that he's playing. And also, I mean, I keep talking about it being kind of the first, and I think it's also one of the first classic Matt and Dan songs where they were both integral to it vocally. Like, you know, because really early on, like I was saying, on God Damn It, it very much feels like Matt Skiba's the lead singer, and Danny's kind of like the backup, you know, like he kind of does backing vocals. But I think on As You Were, it's one of the first ones where, yeah, I mean, Matt's kind of the lead on it, but like Danny's singing all over, you know, he's harmonizing all over on like the verses and bridges and stuff. And that praying for you to fall when they're singing that, and they're both like, again, the harmonies are not like, it's not well harmonized. You know, you should never, people always tell you that you never record the fucking, you know, like you don't do harmonies before the lead vocals or whatever were recorded. Like that's a huge no. But it's like on this, yeah, it's not perfect, but it sounds fucking amazing. Like they're so out of key. Like hearing Danny when he's just the praying for you to fall and everything. Like I love it. It's not clean. It's not well produced. It's rough around the edges, but it's amazing. An amazing song too. It also, to credit to them, it's just a great fucking song. And I'll also say, going back to Steamer Trunk, this is another one that I throw up there with Steamer Trunk, where if you play this one, you strip it back and you just play it acoustic, it's fucking haunting. I mean, this song right away, like, what is the... Let me pull it up real quick. I can't remember the entire thing off the top of my head, but another one of those ones where the opening line gets you right away. Stale as a 2-day half full beer. Cigarette boats float around in here. A field in my gut lacking sunshine. I fucking love that. That's such a good, like, it paints a picture. Put down like a teenager's first drink. I cough up compliments. I think you're better off walking away. Well, you still can. I mean, the self-deprecation, but also, like, you know, self-evaluation, being realistic about things, like knowing that maybe you're a fuck up or that, you know, you don't, just knowing who you are. This song is it's just self-realizing. You realize the things you don't like about yourself, or maybe the things you need to change. You realize the flaws and shit, and you just everything about that. And then going into the chorus, that she was passing through to climb a hill. As she slipped and slid on my gut spill, my better half was praying for you to fall. Like, that's early Skiba. That's, again, it's like, that's Skiba really finding his voice. Like, this is early on him going like, fuck, this guy can really write a song. But I've really, this has probably been my favorite Alkaline Trio song, switching out Mr. Chainsaw for, like, I mean, fuck, probably at least the last, like, 6 or 7 years. I would say this one has been my favorite. It's just, again, I love those songs. I know when we did Blink that I did have Carousel on there, and it's another one of those songs where I love bands where early on they're showing you what's going to happen later. You hear songs like this and go, God damn, like, no wonder that, like, they got so good after this. You know, there's just these little sparks of genius early on, and I think As You Were is definitely that. But I don't know, thoughts on this one for either of you?
It's definitely one of the cleanest tracks on the album for me.
Cleanest, did you say?
It's smooth. My biggest complaint about the early Alkaline Trio is like, pretty much, I guess, just as a generalization, a lot of the stuff before Maybe I'll Catch Fire for me is a little rough. And I don't even listen to Blink's Cheshire Cat, and I'm comparing again, but I think As You Were is definitely, like, they got their shit together for this track. Like, I think it's a little more polished than some of the other songs. Like, I don't know, man, Cops, I'm all into, like, anti-police brutality, but the fucking song Cop is terrible.
Oh, you're crazy. That's a great fucking song.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
See, and again,
it's hard to digest. It's just a lot. Siren and everything in the backbeat. It's just like, I don't know. I want to like it, but it's just like, it's a lot.
I think, though, the problem with that era, though, I will say this is, you're either going to like it or not, because I think the charm of it is that. Like, that's kind of what I've pointed out with these, is like, the things that you don't like about it, I think, are probably the things that I do like about it. And I think if you were to change them at all, I don't think it would make them work. You know what I mean? I think, and again, it doesn't make you wrong. Like, there's tons of bands where I go, Jawbreaker's another. Jawbreaker's one of my favorite bands, but the early, like, really early stuff, I'm like, no, their last 2 records are why they're amazing. It's like the real early stuff, you know, a lot of bands are that way. There's bands where, you know, like Green Day, like the Lookout stuff is good, but I think really Dookie is where they start, where it's like, okay, this early stuff's good, but it's like Dookie's where it's like, all right, no, they're actually getting really good here. You know, a lot of bands have that, like, turning point. But I do think with God Damn It, though, and same with the self-titled and just that collection of songs, it's like the charm of it is that they are kind of rough around the edges. But what I like about God Damn It, though, is even though it is, I don't think it's too rough. What I like about it is it's not super well produced, but as far as sonically goes, I don't think it sounds bad in that sense. You can hear the lyrics, you can hear the vocals, you can hear the guitar and everything. It doesn't sound like a big muffled mess. Like, that's what I don't like, because there's times where like Les and Jake, some of their early shit, the songs are good, but they're recorded so bad that I can't listen to them, because I'm like, you can't really tell what the lyrics are. Everything's just
Yeah.
like, it's all fucked up. Whereas with this, I don't feel that way. I feel like everything's mixed pretty well. You can hear the vocals, you can hear what they're singing, but it's just not clean. There's definitely not a lot of, there's not overdubs, there's not hand claps, there's not a lot of like reverb or trying to like clean things up. It's very much like record it and that's about it. We're not going to fuck around with it too much. Not a lot of like post-production here. A lot more just hit record and what you get is what you get. But that's what I love about it. I do agree though. I think you're right. It is one of the like quote unquote cleaner sounding songs on the record. I mean, I think it is maybe a little cleaner than like Cop or some of the other ones. I think also like it, even though it doesn't open the record, like it does, there's an Asian Man. This might be where it became my favorite song of theirs, but it's on an Asian Man Records comp. And it's like, it's the very first song on it. It came out whenever Goddamn It came out, but like, it's the first song on the comp and just right away you hear that and you're like, fuck. Like, this is how you, like even if you didn't know the band, you'd go, who is this band? Like, I just imagine so many people heard Alkaline Trio. Like, they pick up this Asian Man comp and they just hit play and they never heard Alkaline Trio before. And it's like, who the fuck is this band? Like, who is this? Including if you're listening, because you're a fan of what they were putting out at that time on the label. So it's like, if you're a fan of that and you heard that, you had to be blown away to hear that song back in like 97, 98, whenever it was released. But I don't know, I love this song. How about you, Kyle? Anything on this one?
Yeah, this song, it's, for me, it's just all lyrics. The lyrics are just so wild and they go all over the place, but
they
still
really
tell
do.
like a really unique story. And yeah, you have kind of like the early best of like Matt and Dan, like, and their lyrics kind of coming together. Cause like you say, like Dan is so like kind of like self-deprecating and kind of so inward thinking about himself. And where Matt's lyrics are very like, there's like, we use this term a lot. It's really dark and gritty and there's a lot of thought-provoking things. And this is like a really cool blend of both of their like styles coming together. And it's like a nice early introduction to like where Trio will eventually be, and that being on like their first like real like full length, like it's cool. I don't revisit Goddamn It enough or as much as I should, because I do really like a number of songs on here.
It's my second favorite Trio record, I would say. Easily my second favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, like, I like it. I don't visit it enough. Like, it always comes up and I'm like, man, I should, but then I don't. But yeah, it's really good. As You Were probably wouldn't make it on like a top even like 20 for me, but the lyrics itself, like the music, I feel like you can change the music a little bit more on this song and still make it work. But for the era of which like this trio exists in, obviously like 98 or whatever, like it works. And it's like I said before, it's like a nice little precursor to what you eventually hear from both these guys.
Oh, totally. I mean, this song is a precursor to so many songs that came after it. I mean, just the Alkaline Trio formula, even in the bass line, like I was saying, he doesn't do a whole lot of crazy shit, but at the end he does. That ending is amazing. I love how they end this song. He has that driving bass line and they all just start coming in and just keep like hitting down and shit. Like, I love it. That's why I truly Enjoy Your Day fucks that record up, because if you take Enjoy Your Day off, that record's amazing. I really, that record, I would say, besides Enjoy Your Day, the whole fucking thing is great. Cringe is one of their best openers. Sorry About That is one of their best closers. Like, and that's the thing about it. That's all about placement. I don't hate an acoustic song or a ballad on Alkaline Trios. Literally, the closer is an acoustic song, and it's fucking amazing. I think that one was another one that might make my top 10. Sorry About That. I really think that's an underrated Matt Skiba song. I love that it's just him, an acoustic guitar. I mean, you want to talk about no production. I mean, that's just it. It's him and the acoustic, and he's just yelling his fucking head off. Like, I love it so much. I love that. I love God Damn It, if you can't tell. Easily From Here to Infirmary is my favorite, and God Damn It's my second. And then third, I don't know my third. If I had to go with number 3, I might say maybe I Catch Fire. Maybe I'll Catch Fire, but I also say that for a handful of songs, not the whole album as a whole. If we, you know what? If I can say Remains, I might say Remains is number 3. If we're counting that, Remains might be my third favorite.
Fine.
Yeah, see, that's why I asked that question earlier, because if it was me, Remains is easily at least number 2, sometimes interchangeable with From Here to Infirmary, just because
that's where I don't know if it's fair, though. You know what I mean? That's where I go, exactly. Is it fair? It's like, that's like saying a greatest hits is your favorite. You know what I mean? It's like if you go, so like, what's your favorite?
Like, hits on it, though. That's the thing.
No,
like,
that's
they
true.
Have, like, a single, but
I just mean a compilation. I mean the compilation side of it, where it's like, is it fair? Because they're basically, even though they are B-sides, they're taking like their B-sides are better than most bands' A-sides, but it's like they're still giving you the highlights of their B-side. So it's like you still kind of go, is it fair? Because they're giving us, even though it's not a best of, it's still a best of our unreleased shit, basically.
Yeah, but like, I guess it all depends on the fans as well, because it all depends on how the fans react to it. For all we know, the fans could have fucking dumped on that, you know, and it could have just been, oh yeah, that's a load of Trio B-sides. Cool, no big deal.
I'll say this,
I feel
though.
like the fanfare, I think the fanfare is what put that over.
Well, that's what I was going to say is I can't think of another band who put out like a B-side and rarities record that is held in the regard that is. Because again, bands put those out, normally diehard fans buy them, and it's more just to, you know, to be a completionist. I mean, it's that thing to kind of do it because it's like you just want to hear everything they've released. There's so many bands who put those out, I can guarantee you've listened to once and never thought of again. Like that's a testament to how good their B-sides and shit are, that they put that out and people love it that much that they go like, oh, I listened to I mean, really, like you can listen to that as much as you listen to one of their studio records. Like and people do. I mean, it's that good.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
You know, yeah. So fucking solid B-sides from them. Remains rules. But that is. Fuck, I mean, is there anything else to add to As You Were? I mean, I've kind of said everything about it. I love the fucking song. It's simple, but that's what I love about it. It's just, it's fast, it's simple. The lyrics are insane, yet they work. I mean, he literally references spoiled breast milk, and it still works. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And then 2 lines later about a prostitute in court, like, just shit where it's like, again, it's like, even if you don't catch everything he's saying, you'll hear a word or two, you go, what the fuck did he just say? I love it. I love this song. I love this band. But real quick here, as we close up, maybe we should all of us just go down real quick. Kyle, start with you. Just read off your top 5. Just going down from 5 to 1 as a quick recap here.
All right. Number 5, She Lied to the FBI. Number 4, Fatally Yours. 3, Hell Yes. 2, Stupid Kid, and Warbrain to close it out.
Fuck yeah. Zach, you want to read down your list real quick?
Sure. We've Had Enough, Private Eye, Keep 'Em Coming, You're Dead, and Fuck You, Aurora.
Fuck yeah. Mine was, number 5 was Fine. Number 4 was Steamer Trunk. Number 3, My Friend Peter. Number 2, Mr. Chainsaw, and number 1, As You Motherfucking Were. That was that was fun, boys. I mean, this is I love this band. I think this was probably harder than even Zach like doing the top 5 drive-through. Like I thought that was difficult. I think this was harder. I think this was harder than Blink.
I don't
too.
know, man.
You still think drive-through was harder?
That one was hard.
It was hard.
Because it's hard because like I like all the different bands for so many different reasons, and it was like kind of hard, you know. It was like comparing apples to oranges, I thought, because like I don't know, I think ranking just a band, like it'd be like ranking all of Vagrant's artists. Like Dashboard does not sound like Alkaline Trio. So
oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, sound wise and everything. Yeah, it does change up more.
Yeah,
more like broad.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, that was my only thing. So the drive-thru one was kind of hard.
How about you, Kyle? Was this of all the like countdowns and shit we've done? I mean, do you think this was the hardest one?
Oh, definitely the hardest one for sure. Because at least for me and the Blink one, like my top 5 is really interchangeable with any other song that they have. It just really depends on like what I feel like at the time.
Yeah, just your mood.
Like there was a couple songs on that Blink list that I removed. Like there was one song specifically that I changed during an episode, not because my song was taken by anyone else. It was just on a whim. I'm like, I love that song, but I'm not feeling it at this current moment. And so if we were to do that list right now, maybe 1 or 2 of the songs may be the same, but the other 3 or 4 might be completely different. And so it's all based on my mood at that moment. Where Alkaline Trio, it's very much like I have my solid 3, and it's really just what other 2 can I fill in. And so for me, the other 2 are kind of more interchangeable, but because I had so many more songs on like my honorable mentions, that like anything could be switched out in any moment. But my top 3 were solidified.
I get that. I think there are a handful of songs. Like I did have to think of a few, but there are like I mean you can kind of tell when I was talking about them, but really like the top 3, like My Friend Peter, As You Were, and Mr. Chainsaw, like those in my mind are ones where no matter what mood I am of Alkaline Trio, if those songs come up and shuffle, I'm fucking stoked. Right away I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm in a happy, sad, whatever mood I'm in listening to Alkaline Trio, if those 3 songs pop up, that's how I know they're my favorite. I'm like, oh fuck. Like and same with if I hear them live or something, like I'm going to lose it. It makes me feel a certain way. Like, you know, you just have that reaction to it that you're like, you just know that this one's different than the other ones. But I can totally see what you mean. Cause yeah, it also does depend mood. Yeah. I mean, also, you know, what were you saying?
The only other thing I wanted to say was like, because From Here to Infirmary and Remains are like my number 1 and number 2, out of all the songs that I've written down for my entire list, 6 of them are from Here to Infirmary and 5 of them are on Remains.
Yeah, I feel like half of this list was just from Here to Infirmary, from all of us. I feel like our whole list was just half of that record. It's so good though. It just that really reminds you just how good that record is.
But we also like pretty much we all had different songs.
Yeah, that is true. And I also like though I never would have thought "Fuck You, Aurora" would be your number 1, Zach, and I never, I can't remember what your number 5 was, Kyle. But even that, I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting right away. The later era.
Yeah, She Lied to the FBI, like 2013.
Yeah, that was
like
good.
That super later era.
Yeah,
good stuff.
But fuck yeah, dudes! This has been fun. We will close out here. Any closing words from either of you? Anything you need to add? You just need to get off your chest.
Yeah, man. I know it doesn't work sonically, but I want people to just stop giving Matt Skiba fucking slack for not filling Tom DeLonge's shoes correctly. Because, dude, no one could do that.
Oh my god!
I feel like he was directing that at me. I feel like that was a passive aggressive comment towards me,
it's
Zach.
Literally like,
how dare you on my show, on my own show, on my own fucking
it's just
show.
Like, I mean, you're not going to hate someone for making money though. But
I'm happy.
I just wish the fans would chill out because like the elitist people just like just kind of rub me the wrong way. And 9 might be a fucking travesty of an album, but like Matt Skiba's not a travesty as a person.
No, he's not.
I wish people would stop like kind of talking about him like that. It's kind of annoying.
Oh, well, if you're talking about me, I'll never stop.
Not you, but literally it's like a fan community. Like all the Blink fans are
I don't like the disrespect. Now, I don't like the disrespect because he is Matt fucking Skiba. As far as that goes, yeah, you don't disrespect the man. He's a legend.
Yeah,
a
lot of people have been though, like just for
I don't like that part.
5 years though. It's annoying.
No, I don't like that part of just not liking him because he took Tom's place. I love Matt Skiba. I was intrigued to hear
both, man.
Well, that's what I mean. I was intrigued to hear what Blink was going to sound like with Matt Skiba. It just was nothing that I liked, but I was definitely excited, and I love fucking Matt Skiba to death. But I'm just like, I'd rather his talents be used somewhere where they're more utilized, kind of thing. You know. It's just one of those things. It's like if you had like fucking, I don't know, like take a really, like just a really proficient guitar player, you know, I mean, like Steve Vai or just some dude like that, and put him in a pop punk band. You're not, you know what I mean? It's like it's you with your talent that it would be better suited somewhere else. Same with Matt. It's like your talents just work better with Alkaline Trio than they do here in Blink. And that's just, that's just how it is. But if you're talking shit on my boy Matt just to talk shit, nah, that's not okay. That is I'm with Zach there. No talking shit. I know Matt Skiba needs us to defend him. I know no one else is in his corner, and he needs Anthony and Zach and Kyle to like defend him. But yeah, we gotta defend our boy Matt Skiba. But please quit writing terrible. Please quit writing terrible Blink albums, though.
I've left multiple Facebook groups just because the fans are just relentless with the fucking comments.
That dude wrote. First, that motherfucker's in Alkaline Trio. Leave him alone.
Oh. Yeah, no, literally at first, Zach, when you started talking about it, I thought you were speaking against Matt and him being in Blink, and so I reacted unjustly until I realized you were kind of show support for him, because I was about to freak out, being like, no, Matt's fine in Blink. Like, you shut your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I just need fans. I mean, it's probably just fucking teenagers, but usually it's not, though. That's what's the craziest thing.
It's the super diehard Tom fans where it's him or it's not Blink. Like, and people forget that fucking Mark's there too. Like, yeah, I don't know. I see what they're getting at, but it's not what
healthy too, and it's not really building up any artists, and they're just trying to create, man, from an artist perspective, and it's like stunting. Like, I feel like maybe 9 was bad because of fucking fan criticism, because they wanted to get outside the box, because fans didn't like when they tried to redo California. So then they tried to do something weird, and then it got worse.
See, and I liked 9 over California. Like, I thought 9 was good. Like,
interesting.
Like, on
I'll have to listen through that a little more.
When we were going through our top 5 Blink songs, even though it was like super new, I had Dark Side up there, because even though it's a hit and a quote unquote hit, it's not going to be as big as anything else they've done. But like, I really thought that was a really solid song.
Interesting. I'll have to re-listen to that album. I know I liked what's the opener on that album?
On 9, what is it? The First Time?
Yeah, the weird flangy drums. Yeah. I like that part about.
Yeah, I think.
Were you guys talking about Feeling This?
No, well,
you said opening song with flangy drums. I was thinking Feeling This.
It's almost like a callback to that. That's what I think, man. Because they did it.
The song is called The First Time.
Yeah, true. That is.
But that's like the third time they did that.
True, man.
It's like the third time they put flangy drums on a fucking song. I'd call that the third time, not the first time.
Yeah, definitely.
Now I'm just talking shit.
And last thing, this is my closing remark, and it's more or less, in case we do something like this again, I think while Zach was talking earlier, because he kind of had something going on with this, and I thought about it. I think I figured out what a harder top 5 list would be.
Ooh.
Top 3 or top 5 best album openers.
Ooh, actually, I don't think it would. Well, maybe for other people, but I think of this so often that I already have like my top 3 in my head right now. And in no particular order, I won't say this is
every band,
everything.
Every
Get up, kids.
Pop punk. The Get Up Kids. I feel like it's going to get too crazy.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's kind of where we'd sit anyway. But like, some of us, like me, I might have an easy core band in there, or not saying I would, but I might.
No, I think that would be fun, but I actually didn't think that would be. Well, to be fair, I think I did. It's been years, but I literally one time did a whole radio show of just album openers. Like, I did like an hour and a half of just nothing but track ones. I think of that all. I think album openers are so important. I think I could easily. And I won't say them, because actually I was about to say them, but now maybe that will be an episode someday, so I'm not going to fucking...
Can I say mine?
No, I just said I'm not saying mine. Don't fucking say yours now. Jesus
Can I
Christ.
Just say 3 that
no,
I
shut
love,
the fuck up. No, you can't.
I don't think
no,
make my list.
No, shut the fuck up. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. Not on this podcast. Go on another podcast and say them. You're not allowed on this one. It's getting real aggressive here at the very end. It's getting real fucking mean at the end. It's getting real fucking mean. There's a real turn here at the end.
I know who has a podcast. I can't go on another one.
Go on another fucking one and say them. You ain't saying them here.
I'm starting my own.
Start a podcast just to go pay like the hosting fees, get like all this like recording software and shit. It's like just be like, and my top 3 are, and then that's just it. You never do another one. It's like a 30-second episode.
It'll be
I gotta up and go out of this phone call in a minute.
Oh, we can.
ha 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 ha.
Wait, what do you say? I didn't hear. Wait, what do you say? I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him.
I don't think we can repeat it now.
Oh, goddamn. Well, now I'm gonna have to leave this in. I'm not. That's the whole reason why I'm not gonna edit this episode. Is just because I want to hear what he just said. So all of this will be left in.
Okay.
And if anything, Zach will put it on his own podcast called the Octave Riff Minute.
Oh, I was thinking the Power Chord Hour it was going to be, but I like yours better.
The diminished seventh.
Yeah, the diminished seventh hour.
It's going to be like the douchiest podcast.
The fucking jazz chord hour.
Welcome to Zach Gorshetsky's Fingering A Minor podcast.
Ooh.
I feel like we should have just why do we keep talking? We should have just closed. I should have just faded out as that was coming out of Kyle's mouth.
Dude,
Better than coming in.
All right. So there's nothing to add, right? We're done. Right? We can't add anything else. We're
out of jokes and out of songs. I think we're done.
All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be the asshole who plugs here, and you can follow me at Power Chord Hour on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and that's all I'm gonna say. But fuck yeah, thank you for checking out this episode. We're going about 4 hours now, so enjoy the 4 hours of Alkaline Trio, and thanks for listening.